So this week we're going to be talking about how God is always there for us even though we can't see him. So our Bible story is from 2 Chronicles chapter 5, and we'll start at verse 2. And in here you'll hear about the Ark of the Covenant, which we learned about last week. When Solomon summoned to Jerusalem the elders of Israel, all the heads of the tribes, and the chiefs of the Israelite families to bring up the Ark of the Lord's covenant from Zion, the city of David. And all the Israelites came together to the king at the time of the festival in the 7th month. When all the elders of Israel had arrived, the Levites took up the ark, and they brought up the ark and the tent of meeting and all the sacred furnishings in it. The priests carried them up, and King Solomon and the entire assembly of Israel that had gathered about him were before the ark, sacrificing so many sheep and cattle that they could not be counted or recorded. The priests then brought the Ark of the Lord's covenant to its place in the inner sanctuary of the temple, the most holy place, and put it beneath the wings of the cherubim. The cherubim spread their wings over the place of the ark and covered the ark and its carrying poles. These poles were so long that their ends, extending from the ark, could be seen from in front of the inner sanctuary, but not from outside the holy place. There was nothing in the ark except the 2 tablets that Moses had placed in it. The priests then withdrew from the holy place. All the priests who were there had consecrated themselves, regardless of their divisions. All the Levites who were musicians stood on the east side of the altar, dressed in fine linen and playing cymbals, harps, and lyres. They were accompanied by 120 priests sounding trumpets. The trumpeters and musicians joined in unison to give praise and thanks to the Lord, accompanied by trumpets, cymbals, and other instruments. The singers raised their voices in praise to the Lord and sang, "He is good, his love endures forever." Then the temple of the Lord was filled with a cloud, and the priests could not perform their service because of the cloud, for the glory of the Lord filled the temple of God. So God is always with us when we worship, and it's as special as when God filled the temple with the cloud to let everybody know he was there. So I have a little experiment for us that I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to have an experiment that you can do at your house. Alright, so I have a piece of paper down here, and I have this cool pen, and so I am going to write God on this paper here. But you guys can't see anything on here, can you? Well, I have the other side of the pen that I'm going to use, and I'm going to color over where I wrote. And now we can see that it says God on there. So just like you can't see God when you're worshiping at your house, at church, with your other family members, your friends, you can't see God, but God is still there. So I have a little experiment that you guys can do at your house, because I highly doubt you have a cool fancy pen like this. So I will get that ready, and then I'll let you know. So for this, you're going to need a white piece of paper, a white crayon, and then some watercolors. And you're going to need a bowl of water for the watercolors to work. So what you're going to do is you're going to write anything you want on the paper with the white crayon. So you're not going to be able to see what it looks like, but you can write anything you want on there. I'm going to write God is good on there. And make sure that you're pressing hard enough that the crayon is on there. So God is good. So you can't see what I have written on here, but then what you're going to do next is you are going to paint over it with the watercolors. And don't put tons of paint on there, but I'm going to do that, and I'll let you know what it looks like. Alright, so I'm starting to paint here now. So I have my paper and my watercolors over here. So I'm going to start with some red, and I'm going to paint here. Now I think I'm going to get some orange. So see, as I'm painting here, I'm not sure if you can see on the video, but as I'm painting here, it's not painting over where the crayon is. So I'll finish this up and then I'll let you know what the finished product looks like. Alright, so I have my finished product here. You can't really see too well on the video. Put my blind down again. Yeah, you still can't really see tons of it, but over here you can see the beginning of God and good. There's a little bit there. And the thicker that you make your crayon lines, the more you'll be able to see it. So this is a good way to remind you that even though you couldn't see what was written on the paper with the white crayon, you can see what is written on there after you paint over it. So I hope that you all remember that God is always with you even though you can't see him and we're not at church. And I'll see y'all next week. Bye.